Hey, John Grube, maintrain.com. Yeah, I'm going to do tell you about a book I bought. It's called Broad Axe Training. Now, I think I spent $39.99, 40 bucks. A lot of people say, oh, that's too expensive. That's one thing, especially when I see my demographics, or I'm sorry, the analytics that I have. It's the young guys. I've actually heard men, not boys, not teenagers, men say, I will buy so-and-so's book when I get paid this week. The book's $20 fucking. You know, there was a time when I didn't have $20, okay, when I was young. I also started a family quite young, okay, so I was more interested in making sure my family was taken care of. And I struggled. I did. But you know what? When I could afford a book that I thought was going to help me out, because if I didn't have books and I didn't buy books, because we didn't have the internet, I can tell you right now, my finances wouldn't be, you know, anywhere near. I wouldn't have learned anything. I couldn't have learned anything. I didn't have anybody showing me anything. So, you know, I would spend $8, $10 on a book on how to manage my money better. I know it seems like a no-brainer, but you know what? Some people don't learn as easy as others. Same with fitness. Same with strength. When I was growing up, when I was a teenager, any money I got went to supplements, weight gain, milk, food, magazines, ordering books, you know, through the mail, because we didn't have online anything, so things didn't come that easy. You learned in the gym. So I'm a big believer in buying books. I'm not a big free guy. Matter of fact, there's a lot of guys out there that give away free content. And if they give me great content and they give it to me all the time, I'm going to support them. I'm going to. When they come out with a t-shirt, when they come out with a sweatshirt, when they come out with a book, I'm going to buy it. Okay? Because they've given me a lot for free. And that's at least I could do. And a lot of people aren't like that. It's just amazing to me. But anyhow, what I'm getting at here, I've talked about strength and conditioning and why I changed. It was, you know, it was a tough man in 1994, yeah, tough man. And I changed my whole routine because I didn't know what I know now, obviously. So the title got me, you know, Broad Axe Training. I thought, well, what is this? Okay, it didn't give me any information really, I thought, on the Amazon search. I figured, what the fuck, I'll buy it, you know. And it was written by a guy named Ray Zingler. Never heard of him. But it was forward by Zach Evanish. Now, he's been around a long time. He's a strength and conditioning coach in New Jersey. He's been doing this for a fucking long time. Probably close to 30 years now. Trains wrestlers, football players. Pretty high wrestling strength and conditioning goes like Cornell and things like that. Anyhow. So I was reading through the book, and it's a basic book. A little story about him. It says, Broad Axe Training, a frill-free approach to strength and conditioning, is a simple, time-efficient, customizable training system developed by industry-leading physical preparation specialist Ray Zingler. Okay? There's some more on the back. But so I'm going through it. It's got different things in it, protocol. If you've trained and you do train, it's probably nothing you haven't seen, nothing you haven't heard before. But, you know, it's a nice set-out book. It talks about a lot of different things, different ways of training, kettlebells, prowler, pulling sleds, sandbag training, tires, you know, diet, supplement, all kinds of things. But I like it. You know, wasn't a bad buy. But there's a part here I wanted to read real quick when I talk about the strength and conditioning and why I chose to be more conditioned like a fighter, like I always thought that was more what that was more my mentality than the actual 1-rep power lifter, which I did because I wanted to be as strong as I possibly could. But let me read this here. It's when I decided to hang up my cleats after high school and jump into a career in strength and conditioning, my personal training looked more like strength. And he emphasized strength and conditioning than it did strength and conditioning. Okay, I'll just be honest. From 18 to 25, I did next to nothing for conditioning outside of intermittently pushing a prowler a few times a year and then complaining about how awful it was. This was huge. I didn't want to hurt my gains. I wanted to be huge, and cardio was for losers. I still say cardio is for fucking dancing and conditioning is for fucking killers. Let me tell you, I did get up to 250 pounds and I was strong as an ox, but it came at a cost. I was only strong in the weight room. Who said that many times? I couldn't make it upstairs without losing my breath. I felt like hell. My blood work in my mid-20s, even as a drug-free lifter, was less than stellar. I'll make a change later. I'd regularly catch myself saying this despite knowing I needed to start improving my cardiovascular health immediately. In my mid-20s, I heard Mark Bell. Anybody that's ever paid attention to training, Mark Bell is a pretty well-known strength guy. A prominent figure in the industry talking about 10-minute walks to improve his conditioning and mental health. So one day I said, what the hell? I started walking. Then I woke up the next day and started walking again. And then before too long, I found my conditioning calling. Walking, I could justify walking because surely walking wasn't going to kill my gains, was it? Now, I'm surprised that people fucking can't understand that walking is, just something we're supposed to do as humans. It is exercise, but it's really not exercise. It's just a fucking way to get around. But yes, it will help you if you don't exercise. And it's a very good way to exercise, especially if you don't do it. I walk a lot. I stand a lot. I've always walked a lot. I prefer to walk. It's good. Getting outside clears your head. So, chalk blood and guts in the weight room in the morning and leisure walker in the evenings. Walking was and still is the most underrated form of cardio of all time. I remember being all excited to tell my buddies about my brand new discovery and how I thought it would help them too. They thought it was crazy that I was out going for walks. To this day, I get calls from the same meathead buddies who are slowly picking up the value of walking. While walking certainly isn't going to solve all the world's problems, I slowly started to watch it improve my work capacity and general physical preparedness levels. Which, again, amazing. I had a friend who was a mailman behind the counter, got heavy, became a walking mailman who lost a ton of weight, doing nothing but walking. But eventually, he put the weight back on because his diet was still shit, but he put it back on. So the exercise, eventually was no good because he didn't increase his speed or whatever it was. But it does work. All right, GPP is nothing more than your general state of physical preparedness. When I refer to GPP, I'm simply referring to the state of readiness for sport, life, etc. When we increase our preparedness levels through general training, we increase our ability to handle stress. Training, much like workplace conflict, is stress. I noticed my strength training sessions, I moved faster. I didn't need to rest as long in between sets, and I was generally starting to feel better overall. I began to think, what if I started doing more of this conditioning stuff? And then I quickly shut the idea down because I reminded myself, I'm a lifter. I can't do too much of this cardio shit. It'll hurt my strength. Or would it? As I continue to get older and learning that nobody gives a shit how big or strong I am, I eventually put my foot in the ground and said I'm going to place as much emphasis on my conditioning as I do my strength training. Yep, just like I said. As I was getting older and learning that nobody gave a shit about how big or strong I was, except me. Okay? If my size and strength go to hell, so be it. At least I'll be healthier. This was all around the same time I was at my wit's end from destroying myself with the iron for so many years. He destroyed himself from the iron for so many years. This guy's a lot younger than fucking I am, I can tell you that. And it's already wearing on him. And I work a fucking blue-collar job where I trained fucking heavy and I went to fucking work for 10, 12 hours or longer a day. Okay? My hips hurt too bad to run sprints. So I had to find other methods. I started to dust off my old prowlers and drag sleds and just went to town on them. Pushing, pulling, dragging, climbing stairs, skipping rope, doing farmer's walks, and flipping tires. I was actually conditioning. It felt damn good to do it too. And to my surprise, my strength didn't suffer. It improved. My work capacity improved. I could do more work while experiencing less fatigue. I didn't hurt as bad. I started sleeping better. Damn near everything in my life got better when I started I started to prioritize conditioning. Sure, I may have lost my peak size and weight room strength, whatever the hell that means anyway, but for a young business owner with a young family who is focused on longevity and living relatively pain-free, this conditioning stuff I ignored for so long because of an irrational fear of losing what I thought I cared about was a solution to the majority of my problems I didn't even know. Well, you definitely have to account for conditioning in your training, as it certainly impedes upon your recovery and have negative implications on your strength gains. I think many weight room junkies have a false perception of conditioning. I know I did. Many people don't understand just how much it can help not only your overall health and preparedness levels, but your time in the weight room as well. A lot of lifters' limiting factors aren't their hamstrings or their triceps. It's their subpar work capacity that's limiting their progress. I don't know. Thought that was a good section. Like I said, I've never seen this guy before. Don't know who he is. Still don't know who he is. Never even looked him up. But the book has some good stuff in there, like I said. You know, buy it. Don't buy it. You know, it's got some good stuff. I think you should have a library. I think men in the past, strong men, smart men, always had libraries. For some reason, you know, men today don't have libraries. Men that want to learn have libraries. Okay? You can look at it for free. You can check it all out. But man, what's your time worth? Okay? I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I love YouTube. I learn a lot on YouTube. Most of the stuff I listen to is learning. I'm not watching cats play pianos. I'm not watching stupid shit usually. I want something I learn, and I'm off, and I'm doing something else. Okay? My time is invested, most of my spare time is invested in reading. Okay? Learning. I like it. Okay? Didn't like learning in school. Doing a whole lot in there that I really gave a fuck about. Okay? I learned a lot more when I left school. I learned a lot more when I decided that I needed to fucking learn more. I learned a lot more when I figured, hey, you know what? If I ain't got $10, I better figure out how to get fucking $10 and keep fucking $10. Even though I always had a job. Okay? Didn't have credit cards. Didn't have fucking car payments. Where the fuck was my money going? Okay? I didn't buy drugs. I didn't buy fucking alcohol. I wasn't smoking cigarettes. Where'd my fucking money go? Made good money. Where the fuck it go? Well, I had to figure it out. Okay? Maybe a lot of people are just smarter. Hey, where's it at? Hey, man, I decided to buy books. I decided to listen to people who knew more than I did. And that's the way I live. Okay? Like it or not, it doesn't matter. I'm a blue-collar worker. I like it. It's probably why I'm not rich. It never motivated me. Money just... Being rich never motivated me. I know, it's weird. I like money. I work for money. I learned skills, but I learned it all basically from reading, paying attention, watching other people, and learning. So, buy the books if you want. It's not a bad book. You can check it out. But, you know, like I said, man, you do you, I'll do me, and I'll continue to learn and continue to try to do better for myself and my family later.